When I was a kid, I used to spend a lot of time with my dad. We'd go around doing these odd jobs to make ends meet. And I remember once we were driving home late night from this job that had been really difficult. Nothing went the way we thought it would go. The job was harder than we thought it would be. The client took advantage of us, and I hated every minute of being in there. I was in the passenger seat looking out the window, and I could see my dad's reflection. He was smiling at me. I turned around and he says, "Angelo, you know what? It's not important that you get it wrong. It's not even important that you get it right. What's important in life is that you do what matters and enjoy it." I didn't know what he was talking about. I had no idea what he was talking about. I thought maybe he meant, hey, things aren't what we thought it would be. The job wasn't as good as we thought it would be, but we got paid anyway, so be grateful. I thought he meant that. But it wasn't until years later that I finally understood what he meant. I was about 5 months into my new job after graduating university, and I had this dream that I had died. And they were looking for somebody to eulogize me, to talk about all the good things I'd done in my life before I died. They were looking for someone, and they couldn't find anybody. They couldn't find anybody, not my family, not my friends. They couldn't find anybody to eulogize me. And there was a version of me, dreams being the strange things that they are, there was a version of me that was angry because I was watching all this and I couldn't understand why nobody wanted to eulogize me. Why? Wasn't I loved, and didn't I give love back? Didn't I do good things for people? Didn't I have friends? Yeah, I did all that stuff. I had all that stuff. Why? Why wouldn't anybody get up and say, this was my friend? He died too early. He was my friend and I loved him. Why wouldn't anybody say that? Nobody wanted to do that. So I got angry and said, I'll eulogize myself. If nobody wants to do it, I'll do it myself. So on the day of the eulogy, I was standing at the podium looking at my notes, and the guy who had been responsible for organizing the eulogy, he whispers in my ear, says, "Hey, listen, I forgot to tell you that when we were organizing this whole thing, there was one criteria for anyone who was going to talk, anybody who was going to give a eulogy. And that criteria is this: you can't talk about anything that doesn't matter. You can't talk about anything this person did that doesn't matter. You can only talk about the things this guy did that mattered." When I looked at my notes, I started to cry because I hadn't done anything that mattered. All of a sudden, it didn't matter that I had bought my first house when I was 22 years old. It didn't matter that I grew up breaking all sorts of athletic records. It didn't matter that I was earning 2 or 3 times more than either of my parents. None of that stuff mattered. It was important, but it didn't matter. And I couldn't talk about that. So I stood there and just wept. When I woke up in the morning, I was touched, I was moved, I was affected. I had to start looking at my life and asking myself, what am I doing that matters? What am I doing that's making an impact? What kind of a contribution am I making to life? Or am I just building a monument to myself? What am I doing? So I put myself in this sort of a panic, and I went around for about a month in this state, asking myself, what am I doing that matters? What am I doing that matters? And the truth is, I burned myself out. I was exhausted. And I started feeling a little bit, well, not a little bit, I started feeling depressed and frustrated because I didn't think I was making a big enough impact on life. And I didn't know how to do it. And then I remember what my dad was saying in the car. That's when I realized what he was talking about. When he said, it doesn't matter if you get it right, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. What matters, what's important in life is that you do what matters and you enjoy it. I realized then that night in the car, he wasn't talking about me. He was talking about himself. Yes, he had a bad day. Yes, the job didn't go the way it was supposed to. Yes, all that stuff was important. But what mattered to him was that he was spending time with his kid. That's what he was grateful for, the time he was spending with his son. That's what mattered, and that's why he was smiling. You see, that's what life is about. Life isn't about these big, grand contributions you make. You know, it's not about the gestures you make. It's about doing what you can, where you are, with what you've got, and enjoying it. And in that, throwing your whole self into what matters. That's what it's about. That's what it is. It's about identifying. It's about discernment. This is the ability to identify what matters. What matters? There's what's important to you, and then there's what absolutely matters to you. What gives you energy? What drives you? What gives you life? That's the key. Discernment. What is it that matters to you? I'm not sure what it is for you. I don't know what that is for you. Maybe you want to be a better father. Maybe you want to save the planet. Maybe you want to smile more. I'm not sure what it is that matters to you. I'm not sure if you've even thought about it. But I'll tell you this. Once you discover what matters in your life, you discover a whole new life. You discover that life isn't about winning. It's not about fighting. It's not about me being great. It's not about me winning over you. It's about what you want your life to look like and determining, hey, I'm going to go after what matters. I'm going to throw all my energy here. I'm going to throw all my spirit here, all my heart here. I'm going to do this in this direction. I don't care what's happening around me. I'm going to commit my whole self to what matters. That's what life is about. Identifying what matters and going with it. I'll tell you this, there's nothing that can resist the light of a flame that has a purpose for burning, that's discovered its purpose for burning. So let me ask you this, what's your purpose? Why are you burning? All right, I hope you discover what it is that matters in your life. My name is Angelo, and I'm the Motivator.